GameStop, where you always save 2% with pre-owned guaranteed, and pros always save 20% on pre-owned guaranteed. My name is Chris. How can I help you?
Yeah, I would like to pre-order, if I could,
Okay.
every single game that was shown off at E3. What's up, guys? Welcome back to ThuggedOT Thursday, your TLG weekly commentary. Now, every gamer's favorite week of the year always happens right smack dab in the middle of June, and that's because it's E3, an event where corporations and game developers come together to reveal the projects that they've been working on in order to get you excited for the games that you're going to be playing in the near future. Now, this year's event was no exception. Okay, there was so many games that were shown off either through gameplay demos or trailers that basically made me realize how broke I am. Alright, but that's not what we're here to talk about, okay? I'm here to discuss the 3 games that basically exceeded my expectations in every way possible. Mainly because I want to get you guys just as excited as I am for this upcoming holiday season of video games and beyond. But before we get into that, guys, just like in every episode, quick shout out to our Thug of the Week, Gamertag AprilCool305. Now, despite having the visual impairment of being blind, he also manages to be a great father to his 2 children while also pursuing a career in stand-up comedy. Now, as if that wasn't enough, he also runs a gaming YouTube channel where the last few videos I checked out, he was whooping people's butt in Mortal Kombat X. What? Dude, if you don't find that motivating, I don't know what will. Thank you, man, for letting me share this inspirational story with everybody here on TLG. You definitely deserve a shout out. Now, if you yourself want to get the Thug of the Week, or perhaps nominate one of your friends or family members, all you have to do is send me an email to thuglifegaming@yahoo.com letting me know what makes you a thug. So moving on to our discussion, the first major game that I have to talk about was detailed at the end of EA's press conference. Okay, I'm sure some of you already know what I'm about to say. Of course, it's Battlefield 1. Now, before we start throwing out some harsh slang terms or phrases like COD Killer and RIP Call of Duty, just know that my desire to play Battlefield 1 has nothing to do with the pushback of Infinite Warfare. I'm actually going to be discussing my opinion of that game in the next ThuggedOT Thursday episode, so stay tuned for that. But in terms of this game, there was 2 things that really stood out to me as being excessively impressive. Alright, first of all, the game looks as good as they said it would, right? Because everyone saw the first gameplay trailer, and I'm one of the people out there that was like, dude, there's no way in hell the game looks that good. Okay, E3 comes along, I'm watching the gameplay demo, and as it begins to rain in the game, okay, I'm watching this guy play, and I'm literally observing water droplets beginning to form on his machine gun. Not only that, but he's laying in a crater that a mortar created, and there is a puddle that's beginning to form at the bottom of the crater that he's laying in. It's like, are you joking? Like, that's so much extra effort that the developers over at DICE have put into making this game feel realistic. So, like I said, the game looks great. Now, the second thing that really stood out for me was simply the weapon diversity. Okay, I think a lot of people out there, including myself, have made the mistake of thinking of World War I and World War II as being an era of just a few simple weapons. That's mainly due to the fact that throughout the 2000s, we were playing video games that only incorporated weapons like the M1 Garand, MP40, Luger pistol, or some simple bolt-action sniper rifles. When, in reality, during that time period of warfare, there was an arms race going on. Every single country or faction was trying to improve upon their weapons or vehicles in order to have an advantage over their enemy. As a result, there's a lot of different styles and models of weapons that we've never even heard of that the developers over at DICE are really incorporating into the game. So not only is it kind of educational, but it makes it a lot of fun because we're using real weapons that actually existed that we've never played with in a video game. So that's Battlefield 1. I already have it pre-ordered, and I can't wait to make videos for it here on TLG, so expect that coming up this fall. But now moving on to our runner-up for Best in Show, alright? I feel like I'm at the Yukoduba dog show right now. But regardless, okay, coming in second place was a video game that was presented at the very start of Sony's press conference. I'm of course referring to God of War. Alright, if I'm being truthful here, this is honestly the first time I've ever been legitimately frustrated that I don't own a PlayStation. Or at least know somebody personally that owns one so that I can go over there and act like I want to hang out with them. When in reality, I'm just there to play God of War, right? No, but the demo was freaking phenomenal, and it also contained the most memorable moment from this year's E3 for me. And that was right at the start of their conference, at the start of the demo. You see this kid playing with some toys, and somebody calls him into this little cabin. Well, he opens up the door, and all of a sudden, Kratos comes walking out of the shadows. I mean, you couldn't have staged a more memorable moment. The roof lifted off of this damn place. The hype was real. The audience, the crowd was going wild, and you don't even have to be a PlayStation user to feel that. Okay, I got goosebumps, and that feeling really carried on throughout the entire demo, and here's why. When you look at video game franchises like Halo, Gears of War, Uncharted, Killzone, you know, even though in each new installment you're experiencing new environments, for the most part, each game contains, you know, very similar colors, textures, themes, and really just art design as a whole, because you're used to that universe and the game developers want you to feel comfortable in their new installments. Well, this new God of War is really a rebranding, a relaunching of the franchise, really. So they're taking it in a completely new art direction, and I think that's really what grasped everybody's attention right when the freaking demo started, okay? The old games were much more fantasy, very mythology-driven, and although this one, you know, there are its mythological tones to it, and obviously there is some fantasy, because in the middle of the demo, you end up fighting a damn troll. But if you honestly were to take that battle out of the demo, I would think that this game was taking place in some native Viking culture time period in history, because it looks so damn believable. Now, the other aspect of this demo that got people super excited for it was the emotion of it. I mean, supposedly, the entire game is very emotion-driven. In a recent interview, one of the game developers of the new God of War stated that throughout the campaign, Kratos himself will be teaching his son to become more like a god, and his son will be teaching him how to become more human. I think the contrast of that is very beautiful, and I'm super excited for it. We got a hint of it in the demo, because it is Kratos teaching his son how to hunt, and the end of it I won't give away for you, but it's beautiful, and it brought a tear to my eye. Okay, I'm not afraid to admit it. But I'm excited for it. Even if I don't have a PlayStation, I gotta find a way to play this game for sure. But now moving on to our first place winner, the game that I would give my Best in Show award to. Obviously, all of you guys know that I'm a little geeky. Okay, I like old school things that make me feel like a child. Alright, now this game really kind of snuck in at the end of E3 during Nintendo's press conference. Well, I wouldn't call it a press conference, it was more like a, I don't know, like a detailed interview? I guess, whatever. It was kind of half-ass, but they showed off two games that were cool. The first of which was Pokemon, which, I love Pokemon, yada yada. You all know that. But the second one is this game. It is, of course, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Alright, can we just take a moment to talk about how perfect of a title that is? Like, seriously, as soon as that title came up on screen at the beginning of the demo, you just know at that point that you're no longer gonna have a life when this game comes out, okay? And to put it into perspective for you, the reason why that title is so damn perfect is because not only is the environment absolutely gorgeous, okay, with a very patented Nintendo anime feel to it, okay? It's got beautiful colors, textures, and so forth. But the map that you'll be experiencing when this game comes out has been hinted to be almost 9 or 10 times larger than the environment that you experienced in Skyrim. Okay, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, you remember how big that damn map was? Okay, well, times that by 9 or 10, or does it even really matter at that point? That is huge, okay? And if the entire environment is as beautiful as this demo was, that to me is Breath of the Wild. I mean, it's just so damn refreshing to hear a title like that, because it kind of brings me back to the days where I was watching my brother play Ocarina of Time, just sitting on the leather couch. School was canceled because of the snow, and I'm just sitting there with my cream pie and soda pop and just, you know, having a good time watching my brother experience this open world video game. And that's really just half of it, guys, because the gameplay is also super dynamic. I mean, from watching somebody combine food that they gathered, cooking it over a bonfire to create a specific combat buff. Okay, from seeing that to witnessing the traditional puzzle style of gameplay that we've all come to know and love from Zelda, just everything that they showed off, whether it be demos or trailers, delivered on all fronts. And if you want an idea of how pleased Zelda fans really were with this showing, I recommend that you look up the stampede that occurred when E3 opened up the game floor for players to come in and experience the demo for themselves. It's one of the most beautiful gaming moments I've ever seen in my life. And it just goes to show, you know, how much nostalgia plays a factor in the love that we have towards gaming culture. I can't wait for all of these video games, guys, but that is it for this week's video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of E3. Maybe even recommend some games that you were really impressed with that you want to see me make videos about. Click that thumbs up button, share the video with your friends, and subscribe if you're digging the content. But I'll see everybody here in a couple of days. Keep living that life, because that is what thugs do. I'm out of here, guys. Take it easy.